The information is presented for educational purposes only, is not intended to diagnose or prescribe for any medical or psychological condition, or to prevent, treat, mitigate, or cure such conditions. This information is only presented herein for entertainment and educational purposes only. Living Waters Wellness Center was formed after we discovered how to heal my own body from the multiple symptoms, including allergies, asthma, chronic fatigue, back pain, psoriasis, acne, hives, yeast infections, and finally, cancer. After 20 years of trying numerous different treatments, everything from medical to cleanses, iridology, muscle therapy, acupuncture, acupressure, homeopathy, naturopathy, these experiences led us to discover the recipe that became known as the 4 natural laws of healing, combining multiple natural healing modalities to fully detox, cleanse the body, and then allowing the body to take the perfect nutrition to fully restore the body back to its innate health. This became known as the 10-day healing retreat. We have helped thousands of people just like you get their health restored so they can live their life to the fullest extent. If you want to know what that looks like, go to livingwaterscleanse.com and click on the video 4 Natural Laws of Healing, or call the office at 208-378-9911.
Good morning, Americans. Welcome to the Whole Body Detox Show. I'm your host, David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center, livingwaterscleanse.com, where miracles begin by healing from within. Each week, we bring you the important information so you can keep your body healthy. The first wealth is health. Without that, there's no way you can go out and achieve wealth. And more importantly, this week, I want to share with you a lot of tools and techniques and things to avoid to keep your body toxic free. We're living in a toxic soup bucket, and there's so many just overlooked things that you're missing out on keeping your body clean and detoxed. Every disease is caused by emotions and toxicity. And today, the toxicity is horrendous. Now, the statisticians will tell you we're living longer than we ever have, but the problem is, I would submit to you, many of you quit really living, maybe in your 40s and 50s. You're not really living your true health. You know, true health is living like Jack LaLanne did. Jack LaLanne was the inventor of the first fitness club in LA, and he was the guy who jumped in the San Francisco Bay at age 72 and pulled 72 people across in rowboats with the rope in his teeth. At 72, he lived to be 94, and I watched him on stage at 92, and the guy acted like he was 40. And he did all the things to keep his body well. He was known as the exercise guru, but he took vitamin supplements by the handfuls. He juiced every day, and I would submit to you he even did colonics, probably down there at Dr. Jensen's ranch back in the day, because he was in that generation for sure. So look, you can live your best life, and why not live your best life? Why be on this earth living in pain, living with brain fog, living with body odor, living with psoriasis, living with these illnesses that are just, they're just kind of a pest, right? They're just kind of bothering, like psoriasis and hives and acne and brain fog, and you can't sleep well, and you're getting up and you're urinating like 10 times a night. You're not sleeping well. Those are things you should not be a concern of, but there's so many sources coming at you. And today I want you to get a pencil and paper, and I'm going to give you a list of things, simple things that you can do right now to avoid putting any more toxins in your body. Also, I want to do a mention out that one of my favorite episodes of this show was our very first one with Dr. Ellen Tart Jensen. That's a show worth listening to. It's one of our most listened to podcasts. Dr. Ellen had scoliosis, and she also had an accident where she broke her back, and she was really in a mess, and she just prayed that someday she'd find a way to heal her body. If she did, she'd tell the world. Well, she found that person. It was Dr. Bernard Jensen, really the founder, the original person who developed a 10-day health retreat on his ranch down in Southern California, where he grew all of his own vegetables, and he had 160 people a day down there doing colonics, including, for those of you who are familiar with Gerson therapy, Dr. Gerson himself and his family would come up once a year to do a 10-day with Dr. Jensen. Yes, my friends, colon hydrotherapy has been around for many thousands of years. And it really came to the forefront back in the 50s and 60s, thanks to Dr. Jensen. And today, because of all the developments in the 80s and 90s, we really got some state-of-the-art colonic beds that are really nice and easy to use. You don't have a smell, don't have an odor. They're very, very comfortable, very, very easy to use. And thank goodness we have them, because it changed my life. It changed my family's life. Thankfully, my dad started doing colonics many years ago when he was told he had prostate cancer maybe 2 years to live. Well, he just turned 90 last month, and he's still living on Earth. That's 12 years longer than what the doctors told him he would live. And my mom's allergies, gone. And my father-in-law, who had cancer and was told he had 4 months to live, lived another 12 years. And then all the thousands of clients that came through our 10-day healing retreat over the years. I mean, some amazing stories. People who could not walk come in here in wheelchairs, and 5 or 6 days later, they are walking. People, I had one gal could not talk. She had Alzheimer's, could not speak. And on the 5th day, she spoke to me, 2 paragraphs. I about fell over. And what an incredible story to watch that person change. The guy that came here totally feared up. He had Alzheimer's, and he just knew he was going to die every day. Tons and tons of fear. And he left here full of joy and full of love. Now, did he have his full brain recovered? No, he did not. I wish we could have worked with him a lot longer, but he's from the Midwest. But you know what? At least he found joy in his life. And shouldn't we all have joy? Look, if you're out there and you think, oh, what the heck, David, I'm going to drink my beer out of aluminum cans, I'm going to smoke cigarettes and vape and blah, 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 I'm going to die anyway. Well, I would submit to you, you're being selfish, my friend, because at the end of the day, there's going to be family members at the end of your life that's going to have to take care of you. And I've helped take care of some of those caregivers that come here who've taken care of their ailing parents for years, some of them 5, 10 years, where they've full-time caregivers. And they are exhausted, worn out, and you stole their life because of your selfishness and not taking care of your own body. Look, I would submit today, if I was the czar of this country, based upon what's going on right now, I would reduce the footprint of every grocery store by 75%. At least. Most of the stuff that's in the store is poisonous, toxic garbage. I watched many of you in the stores during COVID, and you're all feared up and stocking up on some of the most ridiculous things, like tons of bread, and you're freezing milk even, you're freezing cheese, and those are the worst things you should save. Those things create mucus. They impact your gut, and now you've got just this impaction down there. You're constipated, and that's squeezing into the tissues, and that gets into the blood system. And now you've got dirty, turbid blood, which means you've got dirty, toxic lymphatic, which means you've got dirty, toxic liver, which means your blood's so turbid, it's like a milkshake. And you know what you're going to be doing with that milkshake blood in a few years? You're going to be down at the palaces of the sick, and you're going to be there to get a valve replacement. Because by having toxic milkshake, thick blood, you're causing so much damage to that valve. Pretty soon it says, I can't pump anymore, my friend. So what are you going to do? Well, they've got a great way to treat it. And I tell you, it's amazing. My dad had to have this done, but, they say they guarantee it for 15 years or something. But, there's no reason why you should be so selfish eating all the junk and not taking care of your body. You owe it not to yourself, to those around you. Really. I mean, you're causing a burden on society, and we see it with the absolute horrible thinking. Look what's happening across the country. You go back to, I think it was episode 27 and 26 with Dr. Don Huber, who told, the millions and millions and millions of pounds of glyphosate they poured on the soils, which is what's the main ingredient in Roundup. And look what that's done to us. Look, you go out to a burger joint, you think you're going to get a nice burger, and oh man, it tastes good, but that bun was made with glyphosate-laden wheat, and you get just a little pinch of glyphosate in your body. And you don't notice it at the time. But over years, all of a sudden one day you wake up and you got fibromyalgia, or you got lupus, or you got Parkinson's, or you got MS, or you got Hashimoto's, or whatever you got. You got a fatty liver. Yeah, today I'm seeing people come in this clinic that have fatty liver at the ages of 24 years of age. That's absolutely insanity that we have that happening. But it's all due to what we have in our food chain. So today, when we come back in a moment, I'm going to give you a list of things, just simple things that you can avoid so you can live your best life. And the number one thing you should all be doing is coming down here to Living Waters and doing colon hydrotherapy, cleaning out the colon, cleaning out the small intestine, doing our 10-day retreat. Our 10-day retreat, we do a liver cleanse, parasite cleanse. I mean, it's a deep tissue cleanse. It's an emotional cleanse. It is a spiritual cleanse. I'm watching this week. These people came in here so so sick. And man, they're shining as they're going out the door. Oh my goodness. They literally glow. They're stepping different. They're talking different. They've released the old burdens that were buried deep within their tissues, old drama stuff that they'd constantly forgot about or stuffed away and just forgot about, the abuse that maybe you took or the words that someone said to you that, you just couldn't get over. Come down here and do our 10-day healing week and get over all that stuff. As my wife says, get rid of the stuffy stuff within and heal from within outwards. That's how we heal the body. You don't do it by taking a pill. Look, pills are fine if you've got an emergency and you need something for a hot moment, but it's not going to get you back to wholeness. You got to treat the body naturally. And that's what we do best down here. We've been doing it now for 15 years. And, it's the best thing to see people come in, some even at the late stage of life, 84, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, David, I can get up and I can go exercise now. I can go back to doing my hobbies. I can join some groups now and go to some book reading clubs. I mean, and just because they were constipated their whole flipping life and no one ever told them about doing colon hydrotherapy. Friends, colon hydrotherapy is your best investment, most inexpensive, highest return on investment you'll ever get. If you want something that is going to help you right away, anybody over the age of 35 needs to be listening to this and using this, because after age 35, the amount of stem cells in our bodies decreases. And by age 60, you're not making any more. So when you have an injury, it takes a long time to heal. Stem cells are your master contractors. And now there's a way that you can use a simple Band-Aid size patch to activate internally your body's own ability to make stem cells. And when you have that, what you may notice is better sleep, better energy. If you've got an issue with a joint, I've had friends of mine who had joint pain. All of a sudden, that's gone. My dad had restless leg. That's gone. I've had people who had injuries and they went to have surgery and it wasn't healing. They put the patches on and they started healing. I mean, an amazing, inexpensive product that you can use. Go over to stemcellpatch.net. stemcellpatch.net, or reach out to us at Living Waters, and we'll send you some information on it. 208-378-9911, 378-9911. We've been talking today about things you can avoid in the toxicity spectrum. Well, first of all, what are you drinking out of? The first vessel you should have is glass vessel. Now, I have got down here, we talked about this back in show number 102 with Ming Lovejoy. We talked about in that show how to protect yourself from the damage effects of EMF, but the same company that makes these little EMF protection devices you can put on your phone, your Wi-Fi, and your Bluetooth devices, they make a vessel that actually affects the structure of your water, and it helps it be more absorbed in the body. And it's in a glass vessel. It comes with this polyurethane cover over it. And I've been using that, and I've been using glass jars for long, 20 some years. One of the things you want to do if you wash your glasses in your dishwasher, which most of you probably do, first thing you want to do when you take it out to get a drink, be sure you rinse it out, because there's always a little residual left on the glasses and dishes. And do it with your dishes and your bowls, everything. Spoons, forks, just a little rinse off before you go to use them, because there's a little bit of stuff left over. And that's very important, because over time, just a little bit here and a little bit there, and it all adds up and creates a toxic bucket. You're going to learn more about the toxic buckets that are activated in your body by watching our webinar called The 4 Natural Laws of Healing. You'll catch it on the website at livingwaterscleanse.com. At the top right, it says 4 Natural Laws of Healing. Click on that, and that's a webinar, and you want to watch that. And because 2 reasons. One, you're going to learn a lot. Have your kids watch it as well. Great. In fact, speaking of kids, today I had a text from a client who did a 10-day, and her son, I think he's 7 or 8 or something, and she brings him in now and then to get on our far infrared biomat. And she says, my son says that I don't need to go see a doctor. I need to go to Living Waters. So that's kind of cute. So he understands at a young age. And you want your kids to understand. Look, they're going out. If you got kids in public school, you don't want them eating that food. That's absolutely horrendous food. It's garbage food. It's the same junk they give people in the prisons, which is also garbage. Why we're doing this to our kids' brains, I have no idea, other than the fact that it's cheap. And schools are cheap. Let me know. I've refereed for a number of years. And of course, they have their budgets. But we put our money in the wrong places. We build these fantastic gyms and tracks, but we can't feed our kids proper food. Okay, so other things you're probably drinking out of. Think about it when you stop to a coffee shop. Is the coffee shop giving organic coffee? Because if it's not, stay away. Coffee is one of the most heavily sprayed foods out there. I came across a coffee not too long ago, and how I discovered it was listening to an audiobook on adaptogens. And these people who were talking about it were really smart, and I found out they're the manufacturers of a coffee called Four Sigmante. Now, I don't get paid a dime for this, and it's a free promo to them, but it's got adaptogens in the coffee. And if I used to drink coffee, I occasionally break out. And I don't with this coffee. It's really good. So I like it. It's smooth. It's healthy. And so if you need to drink coffee, then let that be your coffee. But don't drink out of a paper cup. Again, put it in a glass vessel. Now, what I do, I don't use stainless steel. Many of you are using stainless steel cups. Throw them away. What I have is a stainless steel, but the inside is ceramic. And the same company that makes our glass vessels and makes our EMF protection devices makes this, and it's about a $59 vessel. The water jugs are about, I want to say $29. I could be off. It could be a little less than that. I think it is. Anywho, they'll last forever. But that's what I use. I'm making sure I'm not putting aluminum. I'm not putting metal. I'm not putting the glue on the paper cup in me. And for you guys that have offices, and the offices have styrofoam cups, and they have the fake sweeteners, throw all that stuff away. You're going to be doing all your coworkers a favor. Plus, they'll be able to think clearer. Bosses, if that's your company, you're buying these cheap styrofoam cups, you're sucking down petroleum, for crying out loud. I'm telling you, your employees, if you went as an employer and you had them come through a 10-day cleanse, invested in that, your production would go up through the roof. So I walk into some of these businesses, and I don't know how some of you guys are actually in business, because the critical thinking skills and the lack of brain thinking, the cognitive measurement of remembering things is atrocious today. Scary. I can't believe most of these people are driving. And it's because of toxicity. And it's because of the junk that we're feeding them. And you got to understand, 5 chemical companies control most of the food supply. And now you got China coming in and buying up our farmlands and hijacking that. So we're in a real pickle here. And again, it goes back to a lack of critical thinking. And we've got to clean up our act. And it starts with you and I first. And by the way, for those of you with the brain fog, the arthritis, the joints, the frequent urination, low libido, come in here and do colonics. Do our 10-day healing retreat. Invest in yourself. My goodness. I did this. I began going down this road in 1994 with colonitis therapy. But when I found the 10-day healing retreat, oh my word. Colonics were a big win for me. I felt so much better. I was more limber, more flexible. But after I did the 10-day retreat, my wife and I says, oh my word. We need to have the kids do this, our mothers and fathers. We got to have everyone do this, we know. This is incredible. So we did. And that's how we began years ago. And that's how we started. We're going to be open 10 days a month. That's when we first started. And it's really done a great service to our family. And I wouldn't be here if I would not have found it. I'm telling you, I've had cancer, psoriasis, severe allergies. At one time, I was seeing a chiropractor every day. I was seeing acupuncture twice a week. I was just always not well. I just had to push through. I had a lot of motivation, thankfully, because Dr. Hal Huggins, when he saw me and took my look at my blood chemistry, he says, David, you shouldn't be awake. That was 2003, my friends. 2004, actually. That's how bad my blood chemistry was, because I had mercury. And for those of you who have mercury in their mouth now, big issue. Or if you've had them taken out, you're not free either, because that mercury has a half-life, as Dr. David Kennedy said back in episode number 97 and 99, a half-life of 27 years. So what you need is a good chelator in your body every day. Chlorella is a nice, inexpensive chelator. Big old bottle of that stuff. Take 5 capsules a day. It's going to cost you about $20. Probably last you a couple months. So about $10 a month. What's that? About 25 cents a day. 30 cents a day. You're going to be able to help chelate those metals. And you want to do that because mercury degenerates brain neuron tissue. So what happened in 1972? They switched the type of mercury-based amalgams, and it gave off 70 or 50-fold more mercury vapors. Anyway, if you go to the YouTubes and put in University of Calgary mercury, you can see what's happening to your brain neurons when mercury's coming off those teeth. And for those of you who said, well, I pulled them and got out, I can bet you that wasn't done properly. There's only 3 dentists in town that I know how to do it properly. So the rest of them, I believe that, it's inert. It's no big deal. It's not a hazardous waste. What? Oh, they shut down some schools because mercury got spilled? What's going on there? Yeah. Talking out of both sides of their mouth. Look, you want to get well, you got to clean these toxins out, and they can be cleaned out. I had 13 amalgam fillings. I was a mess. Anyway, we're going to be back in a moment talking about more of the things you should avoid to live your best life. I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center, livingwaterscleanse.com, where miracles begin by healing from within. Give us a call at 208-378-9911. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month, and since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 20-25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you.
Welcome back. David DeHaas, your host of the Whole Body Detox Show from Living Waters Wellness Center, livingwaterscleanse.com, where miracles begin from healing from within. You want to reach out to us at the office, 208-378-9911. We're talking about the myriad of toxins you need to avoid to live your best life. Not only that, but not be a burden on your family. I've, over the years, helped so many caregivers reboot and restore after they've spent, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years taking care of their elderly parents. And I'm going to tell you, it's a very, very stressful time. And those of you who've done that, hats off to you for doing that. What a tough thing to do. But my friends, look at, if you think that doesn't matter what you eat and what you're doing, you're going to be a burden on somebody, my friends. And the other big burden we have is that you're a burden on the rest of society by not taking care of yourself because you're raising the insurance premiums. Our sick care cost in this country is unsustainable already. We're one of the sickest countries in the world, even though we have all this fantastic equipment. But it's simply equipment used to treat symptoms, make lots of tests, and not get to the root cause of the healing. And if you want to get to the root cause of healing, you need to look at your gut. 95% of you are constipated. 95% of you are packing around 10 to 15 pounds of just old fecal matter. That's causing so much rot and mold in your gut. It's destroying your microbiome. And then for those of you who got lots of vaccines, maybe you got the jab during COVID, you have unleashed another burden within your body. And the only way for you to recover that is with some deep tissue cleansing. And that's what Living Waters Wellness Center really shines at. We've turned so many people around. Oh, my world. There was a gal on the last cleanse, I might have mentioned a few shows ago, literally I came out of my office and I looked at her and she was getting some soup, which we provide some soups and juices here for the cleansers. And when she first saw me, she felt like she was 90. I think she's in her 70s, but she felt and looked like she was in her 90s, and she simply glowed. I think she went backwards in age 15 years during the cleanse. Different person. Her husband started saying, you got to call so-and-so and tell them to get in there. You got to call so-and-so and get in there to Living Waters. But that's what we see. We see, people with prostate issues, frequent urination issues, low libido, brain fog is one of the biggest ones. Of course, constipation is the top of the list. And, colonics is your only way you're going to get rid of constipation. Taking Miralax, Ducalax, these fibers, like it had to happen this week. Oh my goodness, this gal did this. She was already blocked up and they said, take some more Miralax. Well, that's like putting straw on mud in the hot sun. What you're going to get is concrete. And the poor thing was she felt like she was pregnant. She says, look at my belly. It's so distended. It hurts. I can't even eat. I've had some of you come in here that haven't pooped in a week, 2 weeks, a month. I don't know how you're alive, but you can't live your best life with that kind of debris and toxins. And so the stuff has to go somewhere. So imagine like your house. The stuff's got to be put. So you put some stuff in a bedroom, you put it in the garage fills up, you put it in the closet's filled up. And now pretty soon you got stuff on the porch and you can barely get down the hallway. That's what's happening in your body. We got to clean it out. So every day when you go and make choices at the store, avoid the center aisles. You shop in the produce aisle, maybe you shop in the meats aisle, and only get organic. Only get organic. Like I ask all my clients here, would you go out into your garage, get a little dropper full of pesticides and put one drop under your tongue? Of course you wouldn't. But that's what you're doing. You go to and eat some bread that's been sprayed with glyphosate. That's what you're getting. Glyphosate. Pesticides. Do not juice foods that are not organic. It's causing you problems. So detoxing on a regular basis, doing maintenance. Look, I do liver cleanse maintenances and colonics all the time. And of course I work here, so I have real great access. I know, but I got to tell you, every time I do one, it's amazing. I get off, I go like, geez, why did I wait so long? I should have did one last week because I just feel so much better. So other things you need to write down on your list of toxins to avoid. When you go to gas up, do you wear a glove? Or you sit there and breathe the fumes? Those are other sources of toxins that are going to your liver. That's going to cause hormonal issues, thyroid issues. Who knows what other issues? These toxins build up and then it creates a dis-ease someplace in that body. And my friends, the only way you're going to change that is not with chasing with supplements, not with changing with meds. You need to chase it using colon hydrotherapy. Open up the pathway so your body can detox the way it was meant to. And then when you add the herbs, then when you add the supplements, they work so much better. Then when you go to a chiropractor, you get adjustment, and you wonder, God, why do my adjustments not work? It's because you're so toxic. Your bowels are so toxic, the neurons can't fire the nerves because every organ in your body has a nerve that connects to the colon, small intestine. So the doctor puts you in, and you're constipated, pop, probably leave the office, you're already out of place again. So come see us before you go to the chiropractor. You're going to feel so much better. And for those of you who have body odor, there's a sign. Bad breath, there's a sign. You're super toxic. Hives and rashes, super big sign. You need a 10-day healing retreat. Those of you who have pain in your gut, that's usually because of parasites. How about migraines, headaches, parasites in the gut? Joint pain, that's simply, it's not any mystery. You can put whatever name you want on it, but it's simply because of heavy metals and parasites. You remove those. Even rheumatoid arthritis, you remove this debris in your body, you cannot help but get well because I watched it for 15 years. I've enjoyed the process myself since 1994. You got to do colon hydrotherapy, my friends. You got to do. What are you waiting for? Look at another day goes by and you live your life not at 100%. Maybe you're living at 80% or 50, or some of you at 25%. Let's get you to 100%. Live full on, like Jack LaLanne, like some of these other gurus, right? Bernard Jensen. I mean, here's a guy that almost died at 88, gets down to 88 pounds. And you'll learn about this in episode 1. You got to go back to episode 1 and learn what he did, because he got hit by a car, was paralyzed from the waist down, found out he had prostate cancer, got down to 88 pounds at 88. Now, what would you do? If you were his family member, what would you do? Would you make funeral arrangements? Of course you would. What did he do? Well, the doctor had said, be one lucky boy to come back from this. He says, I'm going to be a lucky boy. And he went away for a year, and he cleansed, and he cleansed, and he cleansed, and he took nutrients and nutrition, and he cleansed, and he addressed the emotional and the spiritual, and he cleansed some more for a full year. And guess what? He wasn't paralyzed by the end of that year. He walked, and he went back to teaching. He went on the road traveling and teaching. Holy moly! My friends, I don't care what age you are, it's not too late to start. You're not going to heal yourself with one colonic, so don't come in with here, I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to try it to see if it works for me. Baloney. Try doesn't ever get anything accomplished. If you don't think this works, look, go over. I got 14 pages and probably another 14 pages I could put up of success stories. And if you don't think that colonics can work for you, then just don't waste your time. Go live a sick life. But if you want to get well, go watch them, get your confidence up. And look, I get it. I was nervous as heck the first time. Our staff understands. They were all in your shoes at one time. We get you're nervous and you're worried about, will it work for me? It's going to work. You give it some time, it's going to work. It's going to work really, really well. Or as in the words of Dr. Trump, it's going to work bigly. Bigly, my friends. Doing colon hydrotherapy works bigly. Maybe that should be our new mantra. Anyway, I digress. Look at other things, my friends. Do not use a microwave. I ask all my clients who have a microwave or mention they're eating microwave food, do you have a gun? And if they say yes, which most of my clients do, I tell them to take it out to the desert, the microwave, with the gun and shoot it up and destroy it and put it away properly. Microwave food turns even water to poison. You don't want to be drinking poison. Ladies, you're not going to like me very much for this, but you got to get rid of painting the nails. So many toxins going right to your liver. That's causing bigly problems. Word we're going to use for today, bigly. I got to laugh whenever I hear him say that. Anywho, my friends, look there's so many sorts of toxins. When you get brand new clothes, first thing you should do is wash them in the washing machine because there's a little bit of coating. I can't remember what they coat the stuff with. For transportation from these faraway countries, they spray it so you don't get mold or bugs and the clothes ruined. So be sure you wash that first. And again, anytime you have a container, if you can, use glass. For those of you who have cold hands and cold feet, that's a circulation issue. That's a constipation issue. Two things are going to help you with that. Number one, colon hydrotherapy, of course, because you've got a circulation issue, because you've got toxic blood, because you have toxic bowels. The other thing that can help you immensely is our far infrared biomat. The far infrared biomat is an amazing tool. It increases the ability for you to detoxify the body. It raises your immune function significantly. It actually turns on your NK and T cells and lymphocytes, and those are the things that will go in there and start, the scavengers are going to shooting down the bad guys. And we have it here at Living Waters Wellness Center, the far infrared biomat. It's part of one of the tools we use. Another thing you can use to detoxify on a regular basis, and you can buy a package from us here at Living Waters, is far infrared sauna. The far infrared sauna is going to help detoxify the body so much better than a steam or hot sauna. In fact, it gives off 10-fold more toxins produced through your skin in a far infrared sauna at a lower temperature, one you can actually stand to be in, than a steam or hot sauna. Very powerful tool. And the other tool that's very powerful to be used on a daily basis, we sell these at Living Waters, is the whole body vibration machine that we use by T-Zone. You can see all this on our website at livingwaterscleanse.com. We got some videos over there. But amazing, powerful tool, because that will actually start shaking up the body, and it's not going to build bone and muscle quickly. So those of you with osteoporosis, man, you should have a T-Zone in your home. Those of you with knee problems, joint problems, you should have a T-Zone. My mother-in-law, it was bone on bone. They wanted to do knee replacement. She didn't want to have it done. She used a walker, hurt like heck, couldn't hardly go anywhere, and she got a machine, and she was on that machine every day, twice a day for 10 minutes each. And within 4 days, her pain was gone, and she actually got her muscles strong enough so she didn't have the pain in her knees like she did before, and she was able to take a trip to Europe with her granddaughter and walk all over Ireland and see all the great sights. So listen, my friends, a whole body vibration machine, they're as low as $475 to as high as $2,400. Great investment. You'll use it your whole life. Mine at home sits down in my little library where I go at night to meditate and read and maybe watch a few things on the DVD player as I study. But I get on that machine when I'm watching something. And so I get my exercise done at the same time. My wife has hers in her walk-in closet. So when she's curling and blow-drying her hair in the morning, she's doing all that while she's vibrating on the whole body vibration machine and basically getting her exercise in. So a great tool. And again, what you're doing with that, you're moving lymphatic fluid. And lymphatic fluid, 45 pints of that stuff, 800 lymph nodes. So for those of you who know people have had breast cancer, the reason why they had breast cancer is because the lymph nodes got stagnant and stuck. Stuff got stuck there. Rather than moving and then dumping into the vein, it takes the stuff to the liver. So we don't want stuff stuck in your lymphatic. Dry brushing will work as well. So if you've got a dry brush, you can dry brush every day. But I find most people don't like that so much. But it's another way to do it. dry brush probably costs you $30, and you can dry brush, or even just take your hands over your body, up your belly, from down your legs, behind your knees, up behind under your armpits, a lot of lymph nodes there, and then pull those by the lymph from the armpits, pull it towards your right of your chest, and that's where that stuff dumps into that vein. And for those of you behind your ears, on your head, just take your head, massage it, and then pull down behind your ears and just rub those. You don't have to put a lot of pressure. Just make a motion, sweeping motion down, like I'm doing right now as I'm explaining it to you, down into the chest area and get that lymphatic system moving, because you don't want it stuck. You want to stay away from all these toxins and move the toxins that are already in the body so that you're not a burden on yourself and on your family long term. Now, the other big toxic source is your Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi, your cell phones, don't pack it in your pocket. If you're trying to produce a baby, you have decreased the sperm cell count in your body significantly, guys. We don't know what it does to women's eggs, but it's not good, I'm sure. Women, don't put your cell phone in your bra strap. That's pulsing at a really high toxic frequency. But do come. I know we have our cell phones. I have one. It's kind of a necessary life, but I put it on airplane mode. I turn off the other antennas like the Bluetooth. I turn off the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi. I turn those off all the time. I hardly ever have those on at all. And if I do carry it on my body, I turn it to airplane mode so I don't have that pulsing on me. I still have a EMF protection device. They cost you $43. Get them here at the office, $43 for protection. You can put on your Wi-Fi as well. That will help make the cells more coherent. It actually does work. But again, I'm always for more avoidance is better. So at night, if you have these Wi-Fi on, then turn off your Wi-Fi. You'll sleep better. Make sure you get some room darkening shades. Make sure that you're using good quality laundry detergent. There's so many toxic laundry detergents out there. We just come across one about 2 or 3 years ago called True Earth. It's really pretty slick. My daughter introduced this to me. It's a little sheet. It's a Canadian company. You can probably Google it, trueearth.com probably. And non-toxic, and it comes not in a bottle, it comes in a little sheet. You just tear it apart, about the size of a big Band-Aid, and you throw it in your washer, and it does a great job. Another way to avoid the toxins. Do not use air fresheners in your cars. Those are another toxic source. Don't use them in your homes either. Don't use candles that got these scents in them. They're toxic for your body. Get some good essential oils. Get yourself a diffuser. Another thing is, have you cleaned out the ducts in your furnace? Have you changed your furnace filters? We have a device down here that cleans up the air. In fact, it's also got an ozone mode, which I love about it. If you go into a brand new home or a brand new car, put the ozone machine in there and detoxify that home or that automobile, because you don't want to be breathing those chemicals. It takes a home naturally to detox or to gas off about 5 years. And during that 5 years, you're breathing that in. And today our homes are so tight, airtight, you're breathing a lot of chemicals. So you want to detoxify the homes. A good conditioner like we have down here, they're not cheap. They're about $1,500. I have a special for our guests here at Living Waters. We give a great discount, so come in and see us. But this is going to get rid of the smells, the dog, the dandruff. It micronizes dust. It cleans up the air. It's an amazing ionizer, but an amazing tool. We've had ours in our home since the 90s. Wouldn't be without it. Amazing tool. And again, another way to keep some of this toxins out of your body, out of your airways, and so forth. Anyway, I've got another retreat coming up on June the 5th this year. Still got a couple spots left. Then July 17th, and I don't know what our August date is, but go look on the calendar at livingwaterscleanse.com. Look at invest in yourself, invest in your health, invest in your first wealth. You first. If you want to take a tour, come down for a free consult. Do reach out to us at 208-378-9911. Do go over and see some of the other success stories. Do go watch the 4 Natural Laws of Healing. That should be a requirement from anyone from first grade on, because that's going to tell you how to heal and stay away from the toxins and how the body works naturally. I've enjoyed being here. Check out the podcast, if any parts of the show, at wholebodydetoxshow.com. 208-378-9911. Have a blessed week, my friends.
You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month, and since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you.